All right, guys, I came back home because it was pretty windy and I didn't want to deal with the wind noise. I don't have a little stock microphone. So anyways, I made a few more shots and I want to come home and do this video real quick about making your bow ready to hunt. So a couple of things that I want to go through with you and show you is, so the things that I'm talking about are anything that can go wrong will go wrong. Most of the time, the little stuff that gets us when we're in the woods. Say you go up to the mountains, you're gonna stay for the weekend, or you go on a 1-week trip, or you go out of town. You're somewhere where there's no bow shop, no bow technician. You're out in the woods. You don't have time to do that. You're there to hunt. You're not there to go find a bow guy and have them retie in a peep sight or put on a D loop or find some D loop material or something like that. So a few of the things that I do. Number one, I shoot a limb driven rest here. It's the regular old style Hamskea. I haven't spent the money for the Epsilon yet because really I have a bunch of these and they work just fine. But what I do is I use D-loop material, the same D-loop material that I put on here. Reason why is in case I need some. I have a little bit extra. I always make this really long and I make a big knot right there. I use a Persit knot. This never, ever, ever comes loose with a Persit knot. I don't have to worry about any little screwdrivers or anything like that to fix it. I know the new ones has a little slip rubber band thing. They're pretty awesome, but again, I like to use D-loop material. It's bigger, it's more durable, it's thicker, lasts longer, and you can stretch the crap out of it before you put it on, and you don't have to worry about it. So use extra D-loop material. This part right here on my bow that holds my limb-driven cord, a lot of times these things will, even if you clean your bow, they stick, they come loose. So what I do is as soon as I put them on, I use the sticky back on it, but I peel it back and I put just a dab of fletching glue under each corner. That way it don't slide or screw up, because I have mine timed. You see, I don't go all the way to the back. I don't go to this. I move mine until it's holding my arrow for as long as I can and still yet being quiet. If you move this all the way back here, it's going to be twice as loud. If you move this to right here, it's going to be twice as loud. If you move it forward to where it's supporting your arrow for as long as you can, which where I usually end up with about 3/4 of it holding my arrow, or 3/4 of the shaft, not the whole entire shaft length, but of the jaw length that stays on there. It'll hold about 3/4 of it. Works good, it's quiet. Never had any problems with it. Anyway, so there's that. Now, another thing that I always do is I always find a place on my boat and I tie on a bunch more D-loop material. That way, if this cord breaks, or I have to cut a piece off for this and then it makes it real short, or maybe it's too short or something. Anyway, if it breaks, I have a nice long piece wrapped on here. It may not be pretty, but I can tie a knot in this and get everything working again. That's my first choice, to use that for a D-loop if I break a D-loop or something like that. And they do break. The other thing that I do is right here, that's serving that I got wrapped around there. Not only does it look good and match, but now there's about probably 8 foot of serving total right there. That way, if for some reason my serving on my peep sight comes loose or my peep moves or something like that, I have plenty serving with me in the field. I don't have to carry a roll. I don't have to worry about it coming undone or none of that crap. I have plenty serving right here that I can reserve in my peep with, or whatever I need to do. If I tear up a D-loop and I want to, I always put knock sets on there. That's a must. That way, if you do bust a D-loop, you know right where to put your D-loop. Everything has to go back exactly where it is. That's the whole thing to archery. You want everything to be the same and consistent. Now, I know a lot of people take Sharpies and they mark up their sights and all of this stuff. I don't do that. I used to, but what I do now is I use my phone and I take a picture of it with my phone. I get an up close, personal picture, nice and square in my phone, so that I can see the relationship of this corner and this corner and those numbers, right? I do it for that, and then I do it for the bottom. And the reason why is because I can take the corner of this and line it up on one of those numbers right there. And I got a picture in my phone. I can count the marks and it'll be exactly the same every time. If you put a Sharpie on there, a Sharpie is going to be a little fat, a little thin, whatever. It's not going to be precise like a picture in your phone. And everyone uses Onyx. Everyone has a way to charge your phone in the woods. If you don't, they make portable chargers. So your phone should not go dead. Most of us hunt with Onyx anyway. So if you take a picture of it, you can literally pull that picture up, you can blow it up, you can count the lines on that picture, you can count the lines on your sight, you can put it exactly back where it was, if for some reason one of them things comes loose and moves around. Oh, one other thing I do for my peep sight. A lot of times if you're hunting, like for me, one thing I learned about hunting in Montana is it's rough on a bow, especially when you get in them thickets. Some pine thickets, their pine trees don't, the limbs aren't soft like ours back home. They're hard. I have this, I keep this in my backpack. What this is I can take this, I have it set up exactly to where I can take this metal end and I put it right on this little point right here, just like that, inside of my string. And this tape, this bottom of this tape right here, this goes on that little knot right there. It's the same place every time. The edge of this tape lines up perfectly right in the center of my peep sight. So, say I'm going through one of them pine thickets or whatever, I notice, oh crap, my peep sight looks like it might have moved, or my serving looks jacked up. Shit, did I grab something to move that peep sight? I can pull this right out of my backpack and check it. I don't have to check it when I shoot and miss an animal. When I shoot high or shoot low, I can check it with this. It's important to keep all those little things with you so that you can put your bow back exactly where it goes. We're killers. We're out there to make a clean, ethical kill. We're not out there to shoot targets and look beautiful while we're shooting and all of that shit. We want to make a shot that we make every day, and we know that every time we repeat the same process. It doesn't matter if you make a beautiful pull through, follow through, back tension shot, or if you punch the hell out of the trigger. Whatever you do that you hit the most accurate with, most of the time, that's what you do. That's how you shoot. That's how you shoot. If you shoot a thumb button all day long and have a beautiful release, follow through, everything's perfect, let the pin float all around as you pull through. But if you ain't hitting what you're aiming at, it ain't worth a damn. If you shoot better with an index trigger, shoot an index trigger. If you shoot better with a hinge, shoot a hinge. Whatever shoots best for you is what you need to use in the woods. You don't want to risk making an unethical shot or a bad shot, hitting something in the leg, break his leg, and then he's got to live with that because you wanted to look awesome and be like these other guys on YouTube shooting with back tension. If you can shoot that way, hell, I wish I could shoot that way. I can shoot that way up to 40 yards, but out past 40, my groups get really, really big. You know, I end up with a 4-inch group at 50 yards, and to where I'm shooting arrows slapping together at 50 yards with an index. So anyway, that's a whole nother video. One other thing I was going to show you guys too. So some states, they don't allow, you know, lighted nocks. I personally don't like shooting lighted nocks because they're a pain in the ass. You got to always be trying to turn them off. Then the batteries are going dead. And then I don't want to rely on anything like that. What I do is I shoot these arrow wraps. They're made by Boning, and they're reflective. Right? I've been shooting them for years, and I'm going to tell you right now, if you got a good headlight, say you shoot an animal, and you shoot him right before dark, you need to give him an hour. Maybe you got a liver shot, whatever. You need to give him 3 or 4 hours. Maybe you need to come back the next day, whatever the case. If you have to wait 2 or 3 hours because you want to make sure you don't bump him and run off, you can go in there with a flashlight, and I promise you, you hit that with a flashlight, you can find it from a mile away. It's saved me many times. I've been in there looking for blood, looking straight down. I thought he was here when I shot. I thought he was here when I shot. What the hell am I? Why can't I find it? And I'm like, oh yeah, let me just look for my fletching. Quick scan, beam, there it is. I've spotted them up to 80 to 90 yards away in the woods. Just laying on the ground. You can walk right over to it. There's your blood. Bam, there you go. Another thing that I do, I take all my quivers. This is an old release, and I took this off of one of those, you know, pocket quivers or whatever for practice shooting or whatever. And I just put a slot in and put it on here. The reason why I do this is I like to keep. I don't shoot with my quiver on my bow because I just don't like it. No real reason other than it's a lot of extra weight, and if you're shooting in the wind, that's like a sail on a sailboat grabbing it. So I keep my quiver on my bow like this as I'm hunting because I use a sling. But say I find an animal and I'm about to make a stalk. First thing I do is I pull this off and I use this right here. This clips on my belt or my pocket, whichever one I decide to do. And now I got my quiver with me, and it's not hung up on my bow. It's not catching wind or anything like that. I'm shooting just like I do at home. I got more arrows if I need them. Hopefully I don't need them. Hopefully it's just one. One is all it takes. But hopefully that's all it takes is one, is what I'm trying to say. But anyway, the other thing I do is I take all of my stabilizers and I wrap them with grip tape. I even wrap this with grip tape. I don't know that it does anything other than it takes the glare off of the carbon fiber. A lot of people think that carbon fiber don't glare, but it does when the sun hits it just right, especially if you're hunting in the snow or the rain and you get it wet. Anyway, that's about it for now. That's all I can really think of. Just a few things to do to make sure what you want to do is anything and everything that you can do to make sure that if something goes wrong in the woods, you don't have to end your hunting trip. You want to be able to repair your D-loop, put your peep sight back in the same exact place. Obviously, you want to shoot your bow when you're done, just to make sure. But if you have it marked and you have pictures of all that stuff, there's no reason why you should have to do anything to your sights. Put everything back exactly where it was. You have knock sets for your D-loop. You have your measuring stick or whatever you want to use for your peep. You should be golden. So anyways, that's all I got for now. I'll catch you guys later.